Well, I find it very surprising. The Liberals themselves today, with Josh Freudenberg, have admitted that we're going to be in debt for quite a long time. You may be thinking, wonder how long we can actually be in debt for. We got the Liberals running the actual country, so, they're going to, 5 years' time, they're going to get rid of the debt. So, yeah, the debt's not going to be for a long time. But even the Liberals say themselves, we're going to be debt for like 40 plus years. So what are we getting out of this debt? Sure, we got some infrastructure going on, but it's mainly the states doing it, funded by the states. The federals do put a little bit into it. But yeah, so where is this debt going to? Well, I haven't actually researched it, so not yet anyway. But this debt, from the looks of it, is mainly gone to businesses. So you had the profit keeper, a job keeper, and a lot of that boosted the company's bottom line by a lot. They go, we're not going to make much money this year. 6 months later, we're billionaires. Yes, we made lots of money. Yeah, baby. So, a lot of that money has been pretty much frizzled away. It's not going to do anything for Australia. It's not going to produce productivity, because a lot of companies are not really investing in their businesses or the area that they need to, so we can produce innovation in Australia. Now, there are some companies that are doing, but I see a lot of companies, what they're doing is that they're investing in machinery to replace the workers. So, you've heard of Uber. That's what Uber's doing now with self-driving cars. Basically, what they want to do is get rid of all the drivers. So you have a self-driving car going around. They'd own the car. Maybe they'd lease it out. They just have maintenance, but they don't have to pay any wages for the driver. So that's the end point of Uber. And, you got a lot of places that use to do things manually that have gone into innovation. Like in a bakery, you have a machinery that pretty much makes the dough, you put it in the machine, it rounds it up, makes whatever you want, spits it out, puts it on a tray. There you go. Eventually they have it, so then it just goes into a prover, proves up itself, goes into an oven, bakes itself. You don't need anyone to actually control it. Oh, you probably need one person for the whole process to make sure everything is going, because the one thing that is what do you say? Something that is, sick. This is the problem when you're trying to talk off cuff. You forget some things as well. Yep. So, one thing that provides uncertainty, that's it, is the actual dough, because dough varies with temperature, yeast, and don't worry about that. But that's just one instance of innovation. And if you look at roadworks now, all of that is machinery. You don't have people digging or laying tar. You don't have any of that. That's all machinery. You just need someone who knows how to drive the machinery, and you only need that one person to do the different sections. Like when you lay the actual tar, you've got one person who drives the machine that lays tar, and the other one that has the machine in front that actually has the tar in it and whatever else. So it is pretty automated now, and this is just the way we're going. Automation. While it is innovation, it's also removing jobs. So to actually get a job in the future, you're going to need to upskill, become better skills. Because, we have the world of globalization. Globalization means your job can go bye-bye overseas if it can be done overseas. A lot of physical jobs can't, but wages are still not going up. Let's bring in all the immigrants. Don't mind them. They bring lots of nice curries. So, that is pretty much a sad thing. Because what's going to happen is, for 40 years, we're going to have to be paying it. Actually, Mr. Freudenberg says, now, I don't really believe him. It's just funny that he said this. It's politically suicide for him and the LNP. Oh yeah, but the deficit will still be growing in 40 years. So that's how much money they spent. They spent so much money that we cannot get rid of it, not with the tax base that we have now. And you say, Glenn, you mentioned taxes. So how are we going to get rid of this debt? Well, you can actually have economic growth. And part of the way we'll probably do that, get good economic times, they'll produce lots of taxes. And then we can pay off the debt. And that's when you should be paying off the debt, is when you have good economic time. Granted, we had the LNP recession last year due to the lockdowns and all that. So that was a bad economic time. Bad idea. Good idea to spend money. So that's a good thing the LNP done. But I don't think that they spend the money in a good place. So they've pretty much wasted all that money. It's just not going to do anything. And if you look at it, the situation in Australia and around the world, all this money is not going to do anything to help people. It maybe sustain them for a while, but in the long term, nah. I reckon that we're just going to have an economic crash, reduce their prices, their houses and everything else. It's just, I don't see any other way out. I will not get distracted. Yeah, so deficit will be going up in 40 years still. So yeah, 1 is economic growth, is how we pay. 2, we devalue the currency. Unless we use an American currency for the debt. And in that case, devaluing the currency is not going to do anything because we still have to pay the same amount. But if the debt is internal Australia, we devalue the currency so that we pretty much inflate the weighted debt, or we raise taxes. So if we can't have economic growth, we can't inflate the weighted debt, we have to increase taxes. So I reckon that's what they'll do, because not all that 40 years is going to be good economic times. We're going to have recessions in that time. So they're going to pay the debt somehow, and how they're going to pay is raise taxes. So that's basically it. We're going to be paying for 1 year's worth of debt for a long time. Actually, more than 1 year. It's like pretty much since 2013. So 8 years of debt we're going to be paying for 40 years. Thank you, Mr. Freudenberg. Thank you, Mr. ScoMo. And thanks, Mr. Abbott. Who else? Thank you to the LNP, the Masters of Debtness in Australia.